Good morning. Welcome to this Thursday Live. I am actually going to move my laptop onto the baby chair because baby's still sleeping. It'd just be a little easier to be not looking straight down. Okay, so good morning. I'm going to get started. Give a few minutes if anybody's planning on popping on live. You want to interact. If you have any comments or any questions, feel free to pop them into the chat. And then at the end of my talk today on keeping your house clean when the kids are too little to help, I'll talk then, pop in, say hi, check out the comments, any questions you might have at that point. So let's get into it. So I have 11 children now, and I'm in the sweet spot. A friend of mine came up to me at church a couple of weeks ago, and he said, Terry, you're in the golden years right now. You know, his oldest are like in their 30s, and his youngest is like 14, 15. But he remembers where I'm at, where my oldest is 17, my youngest is 11 months. I have what I did not have for so many years as a big family mom when I had 5 under 5 and 7 under 7. But now I have older to help with the younger. I have buddy systems. I'm able to make the flow of our day, just the safety, the chores, just the running of the home, like all the logistics of how you do this big family life stuff together. It's so much easier now. But I remember when my oldest was only 7, right? And she could help. Certainly I start chore training very young. It's part intuitive, part desperation, and part life training to get your children able to, help and contribute and also develop life skills that are invaluable in their own lives, right? Everything from starting to help carry a diaper, the baby's diaper, and put it in the garbage, making their own beds, and then, leveling up. And I share all about that in my Big Family Moms group, how to make chore systems starting from young. But what do you do when they're all young? You're the full-time stay-at-home mom. There's nobody to meaningfully help, like with the heavier chores or just the day-to-day, right? The big stuff. And yeah, you can start them young, but what about when they're 5 under 5? Like 5-year-olds aren't typically really doing laundry high level, right? They're not really doing the dishes, and it all falls on the shoulders of the stay-at-home mom who might, like many big family moms, be pregnant and nursing and toddlers and starting homeschooling, and it's just a lot. So I'm going to share with you today how I did it, because I'm in the sweet years now. You'll get there if you're in the younger years. But I was in the younger years. I thought about how did I do it? Because there were years when I did let things slide in the very early years. And part of that was just because I didn't know what I was doing as a mom. I was prepared, to go to school, to get a career, to be, a modern feminist. And I just had no training. So I was really running by the seat of my pants, so to speak. And my natural default tendency was just to live like it was a permanent summer vacation or something. Because I was like, well, I'm home. It's like a big fat Saturday with all these little kids. But, that got old really fast. And then the more kids there were, I found myself, never having things defrosted. Things were getting cleaned. And I was starting to feel like that gungy, I've been on vacation for way too long and it's time for me to grow up and start actually acting like an adult feeling. And I had 5 children on board. Confession time. So I say this all with grace, and I'll give you some practical tips. Looking back now, how did I do it? Well, part of it was when first it started here, which oh my gosh, I just knocked out my glasses. It started up in my head, and it was really like coming from my heart. There was a shift in my heart. One of them was taking it seriously, but your problem might be different. You might be kind of more extreme and struggling and being like, it's never clean enough. I can't keep on top of it. And you're stressing out because you're trying to maybe do too much. So number one is to define, like, where are you at? Where is your margin for okay? What is your safe, sanitary, sane level? Like, where is that for you? Maybe just step back for a second and think, like, what for me is acceptable? There's the ideal, and then there's acceptable, right? And there's going to be a margin there. So I tended to lean more in the like slothful. That's what I called it for me, speaking for myself. That's not everybody, but that was me. I would put it off and put it off and put it off. And I know there's another extreme of just like doing too much, right? So we're aiming more for the middle, where God's grace is that wide road, right? This isn't necessarily the straight and narrow and everyone's going to fall off the wire. There's a big space of grace because God isn't there, with a clipboard and a checkboard, evaluating your worth as a human being and as a mother, this invisible panel of judges or other moms or mother-in-laws or whoever it is in your life who's criticizing you and just waiting to go, aha, see, fail, fail, fail. Who trusted with all these children anyway? Especially if you're starting to homeschool, because then a lot of self-doubt can come up in that space as well. So number one, just pause for a second, write it out if it's helpful. What's your target? What's your goal? How clean is clean enough? Like good enough, because there's going to be seasons, there's going to be weeks, there's going to be periods of your life as a big family mom with lots of littles, pregnant nursing and all of that, where it may not be the same standard that you may be able to attain at another season of your life before or later, whatever. So just define for yourself and give yourself some grace of what's safe, number one, right? So you want it to be a safe environment. And what's sane, what's manageable for you on your own. I'm talking with no outside help, no hired assistance, not if you're not choosing to go that route, which you can. I mean, hey, power to you. If you're going to hire someone to come in once a month and do the deep clean, if it's in the budget, go for it. There's no shame in that. You don't have to do it all yourself, right? So until you have like a nice a team of people like I do right now, and I've worked myself at a lot of chores. There are chores I haven't done in years, because I've trained my children how to do them from a young age. So once you've defined that margin for you, that your end goal, then you can work backwards from there and say, okay, well, here's another thing. Do you want to be doing chores all day on Saturday, as many people do, right? The groceries, the laundry, the everything, because dad's home. And now, in that kind of family model, now you can do all your chores because there's nobody in your way. You basically have a built-in babysitter called dad, right? That's one way to do it. I chose to actually have Saturday off. I did not want to be doing all the laundry, like 10 loads of laundry on a Saturday. I didn't want to be doing the groceries on a Saturday or all the maybe once a week chores like the vacuuming and the mopping. I was just like, ugh, that sounds like horrible. I want a weekend. I work all week as a stay-at-home mom, and I was starting to homeschool at the time. And I'm like, I work all week. And for my own sanity, just to pace myself, I need some break, some day off. And I wasn't going to always have babysitting from grandma or whoever. And I wanted to enjoy Saturday with my husband. He works hard too. And Sunday can feel like a super busy day. Excuse me just one moment. Yeah?
Last season, can you put on a new show?
I'd like Jethro to talk to me about that, please. Jethro, just go give the message to Jethro.
Me to do it.
Okay, well, I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Sorry. Kids are upstairs right now with big brother Jethro. He's having his 1 hour time slot. See the sweet spot? I have these built-in babysitters. And now they're saying, Mom, the show stopped, because they get to watch a little show. And so the season ended. The season ended, Mom. Please put on something new. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm going to call my daughter to probably do this for me. I'm on my phone. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Just like, Eden, could you come give me a quick hand? Thanks. All right. I'm just going to keep going. She's going to help me out. I'll just give her my phone. She knows how to do this. Good morning, Cindy. All right. Where was I? You've defined for yourself what's safe, what's sane. Hey, could you take my phone? They said something ended and they want something to cast, but I'm live and my head is in two spaces right now. Thank you so much. So next is to define, when do you want to be doing these chores, really? Like the big heavy lift. Do you want to cram them all on a Saturday? Go for it. If that's good for you. That idea, I would rather pull my fingernails out to be a little dramatic. I was like, no. So I knew, okay, well, right now that defines when am I going to do the weekly things. I'm not doing them Saturday, Sunday. I mean, the things that I can plan for, right? So I broke it down into a routine, and I break this down more fully actually in my Big Family Home course. I break it down, but I'll just give you the highlights right now, just so you could have something to run with right now. I defined, and you could do this on paper, but I did it in my head because it worked for me. What do I need to do every day? I was doing dishes every day, but I don't need to do the bathroom every day. No, I don't need to do the bathroom every day to be safe and to be sane for me. So I decided once a week was fine for the bathrooms. I felt that was sanitary enough in our home. And I was like, we only had 2 bathrooms. In the previous house, it was like a 900 square foot, 3-bedroom, standard row house, smaller house, less things. Decluttering might be a big thing right there if you're struggling with staying on top of just all the stuff, but that's a separate talk. And I defined for myself what I was going to do every day. And from there, what I was going to do every week. And then because I wasn't going to do it on the weekends, I would do it Monday to Friday, right? And I like Fridays to ease into the weekend. So, hey, buddy, someone delivering a package? Thank you for telling me. It's a great thing. Hey, quiet. I know. Thank you. So I did bathrooms only once a week, and I did the upstairs bathroom where the kids took their baths on. We always do it on like Tuesdays and Saturdays. That was the night of the week that I did the bathroom when they were in there playing with their toys, and I had a couple of minutes. Boop, boop. I mean, it doesn't take very long to clean the bathroom, clean the mirrors, wipe off the countertop, maybe spritz the floor real quick with some cleaner. And I'm like a vinegar, baking soda kind of girl anyway, so just. And I only did the bathtub once a month. Because that for me, that was fine. Like, again, there's no panel judging you on your value and ability as a parent based on the cleanliness of your home. Hey, quiet. So I defined I was going to do what I was going to do daily, what I was going to do weekly, what I was going to do monthly. Sheets, like everybody's sheets, and we had a lot of beds, a lot of kids, a lot of sheets, just their, their little covers, not their actual blankets. Blankets I do like once a season unless we have a puke storm. That's different. But just regular maintenance, housekeeping. I only do the sheets once a month because I was like, they're not that dirty. My kids aren't that filthy. We bathe them twice a week. So we just defined that can be done once a month. I put a sticky note on the family calendar to remind myself so I wouldn't forget. And then somewhere in the first week of the month, I would just take a day outside of our regular laundry day, because we usually do laundry on Mondays and Tuesdays, and just get the cycle going so I can just get it done early in the week so I can ease my way into the weekend and really feel like I'm being productive. But if Monday doesn't work out for some reason, it can flow into Tuesday. I have all the way until Friday to get things done. So like I said, the bathroom I just did when I was in there anyway with the kids having their bath. Sheets I only did once a month, and you can just do like, that's probably 2 loads of laundry if you're like, even in a big family, if you're talking about just like the top sheet and the fitted cover and some pillowcases. It didn't take that long to do. I also always kept a laundry basket in an easy to throw area. We had a basement stairs, kind of had a bit of a landing. So I could just open the basement door, which we always kept a hook, like an eye hook lock on for safety reasons. So someone didn't, toddler didn't go down the stairs. And I just throw like dish towels if the baby pooped themselves and, you had to do a middle of the day change. I just always be throwing laundry until that basket was full. It was like your miscellaneous laundry. And yeah, I just throw that in somewhere in the week when I'm going up and down anyway. So what do you do daily? What are you going to do weekly? What are you going to do monthly? And then what do you actually not have to do probably for maybe 3 times a year, twice a year? I don't dust, but twice a year. Usually like Christmas and springtime, right? Kind of gives me a motivation because Christmas is coming and I want the house to be extra tidy. And then of course, depending on my health, that's just a good spot in the year, because if I tried to dust every week, why? And that would stress me out. It's just too much, and I don't see it being both necessary for safety, and it's definitely going to threaten my sanity. For mopping and vacuuming, real quick, I'll wrap up here. Again, I determined that once a week was going to cut it for us, barring, like somebody's crumbled crackers all over the place. But, just normal house maintenance. Once a week was enough for us. And we had 5 kids, 7 kids. Like, yeah, they track stuff in, but once a week. Sometimes I think we overwhelm ourselves. And if we just sort of step back a little objectively, maybe write it out on a piece of paper and just define, okay, this is the daily, this is the weekly, this is the monthly, and this is the occasionally, or on an as needed basis. Boom. It just becomes easier. I got my husband to help with the mopping in seasons when it was just too much for me, or I was feeling a bit overwhelmed, or I was just very heavy in pregnancy or postpartum. I've had all C-sections. And he would pick up the slack in things that I was really struggling in, because he's a good guy and he doesn't have, insecurities surrounding doing just, helping out with his own home. And he knows that I work darn hard all week, taking care of the children and bearing our babies together and homeschooling and running the home like a pro. So yeah, when I say, "Hun, could you help me with the mopping tonight after the kids go to bed before we head upstairs?" You just real quick lift up the chairs, do a quick little mop, done. Boom, right? Doesn't have to be fancy. Doesn't have to be scrubbed with a toothbrush. You don't have to do the baseboards, but like once a year. And we just kept it as simple as we could basically get away with. And it made it easy in the early years when we had all littles. It was just me with occasional help from my husband. It worked because I defined what was sane, what was safe, and then I just made a plan and I fit in my week. And sometimes I'll finish off with this. I would sort of give myself bonus points like this, where if earlier in the week an opportunity would present itself to do something I would normally do on a Friday, like I'd normally vacuum on a Friday morning after breakfast when the kids were all playful and distracted. I'm just vacuum around them, maybe put on the baby if you have a more baby wearing situation. If I got opportunities a little bit earlier in the week, so on a Thursday or Wednesday, I'm like, I could sit down and scroll on my phone right now, or I could do like 10 minutes of vacuuming and it'll be done. I would almost be like paying it forward to myself. I'm like, well, if I do it on Wednesday, I don't have to do it on Friday. Sweet. And I'd lighten up my load by just looking ahead. And because I was only at home, I was just with the kids. I wasn't trying to do a billion other things and be a, volunteer this and everybody that. I was just really keeping it real, keeping it close to home. It was manageable and I could do it because that's really all I was doing. I was home with the kids, I was homeschooling, I was running the home, and I wasn't trying to be like everything all at the same time to everyone. I just shorten it down. Like I said, I unpack this much more fully in my big family home course that I've put together just for big family moms, because I've been there, I've walked this road, and I know what it's like to have all the complexities of a big family home logistics model. And what I run through in that course is 3 main sections: home management, like the organization of the home, all the chores, like I've been talking about, that's a whole section. Routine, which works in tandem with your home management, right? All the housekeeping. And then lastly, keeping calm. You and teaching your kids how to be calm at the same time. So that's the big 3-in-1 of Big Family Home. There's a link below if you want to check that out. And otherwise, if you're not already in Big Family Moms, my online community, that is a completely free group. I've got tons of resources tucked away in the guide sections, lots of chat and community talk where we can ask questions and help each other out. Life experiences, younger big family moms, older big family moms, and I love to give in that space. So if you'd like to connect with other big family moms, 3, 4, however many kids is big for you, because it can vary. I've been told I'm a huge family mom, actually, with 11. Okay, all right, I can see that. Then you're more than welcome to join that space and find some solidarity, some encouragement, where people aren't going to mock you and tell you, well, just stop having so many kids and then all your problems will go away. All right. Well, I'm going to just say hi real quick, say hi in the comments, and then I'm going to pop out because I can hear baby Corey is waking up. She's making happy noises. So in the woods says I have 4 kiddos. The last one's a baby. Since I had him, I haven't been able to homeschool. Everything's messy and difficult to complete. Yeah, when you've got 4 kids and are really little and you just had a baby, there can definitely be a transition period there for, a couple weeks, couple months. Like I have had all C-sections. So getting back into a routine and easing into it can be the trick. And I do unpack that in the course. So if you want to check that out, feel free to message me or check the link in the video below to have a routine that's flexible, that you can have a baby or a crisis or a medical situation, but then ease back into it. Kind of like, okay, I had to pull off the road for a little while, to use a metaphor, right? But now how do I ease back and merge back into traffic? Because you're not just going to go back full force right away. That probably wouldn't be wise or safe or good for your body, and it's a setup for burnout. So one step at a time, easing back in. And maybe just to give you some quick tip right now in the woods is to just take maybe one thing that you want to bring back in, just one, and do that for a week, 2 weeks. And then when you're feeling good, right? And then maybe bring one thing or part of one thing back in with the homeschool. Maybe just start by reading a chapter book with the kids while you're sitting down to nurse anyway, right? And maybe only get through half a chapter. And maybe you don't do it every day. But if you just start small instead of starting big, then you can begin over time to get back into a good flow. That's often what I do real quick. So ladies, it's been a slice chatting with you here. I'm going to pop out. Like I said, go nurse baby Corey. I hope this has helped you. I look forward to connecting with you in the group as you yourself, find the way, because it can be done, to keep your house clean when you have a lot of little kiddos and you're not yet in the golden spot. You're looking forward to it. You'll get there. But for now, I am so honored to connect with you. Look forward to seeing you in the Big Family Moms group. And like I said, click the link below if you want to check out Big Family Home to get the help you need for all the logistics of Big Family Moms. Do it with grace and style. I'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Bye.